So one of the most common questions we get as planners is how do we preserve our assets for future generations? And I think a lot of time it's thinking about liability. So like creating multi-generational trust, having your kids get prenups when they get married. Those are all fairly common things that you as a wealthy family would be doing when you're trying to protect assets. Another thing that we recommend and have seen other families do is really, this is assuming you have a normal stock and bond portfolio. So your stock and bonds, your liquid assets are enough to provide for your needs and maybe the needs for another generation. But what do you do with excess wealth beyond that? And really, we like seeing what I call exclusive real estate. So it could be a historic property. It could be just a very high-end beach home or a mountain home, something that maybe the family gathers there, so you create a sense of legacy, but also is owned by trust long-term and continues to grow in value and wealth for multi-generations. Obviously, you have to work out resources to make sure that the property is properly maintained, thus holding its value. But real estate tends to be a good multi-generational asset protection mechanism. But ultimately, I think the number one way to protect assets is not something that most planners or even attorneys really address, and that is telling your story. Every family that has a wealthy or has high wealth has a story. How did the wealth become? Did mom and dad or grandpa and grandma, did they come from overseas and then they landed here and they started a business and then that business is still running today and the family from multi-generations benefit from that business? Or was the business sold and that's where this wealth came from? Ultimately, you want to go through the process of telling that story to each generation over and over again so they understand a little bit of who they are, where they came from as a family, where were the modest roots, where did the wealth get accumulated, and then ultimately teaching those principles to the next generation. So it's really easy, for some people it's not as easy, but we'll just say it's really easy once you have the wealth. Keeping the wealth is I think is the harder part. Typically the third generation really struggles with asset preservation, and it's more spending to where there's mistakes made and money goes away. So it's partly like not enabling children, but using resources to enable children to go after their passions, where they're working in that passion. It's also looking or sitting down and writing really a family mission statement. What is the purpose of the family? What does the family set out to do? How are they helping the community? How are they growing multi-generational wealth? We have multiple podcasts on this, which we'll put in our notes on this video. But if it's something that you're really concerned about, is how you handle multi-generational wealth. Lawyers and accountants and even many financial planners really aren't equipped to help you do that. We do have a process here at Wiser Wealth Management we can take you through for you to help you understand how to tell your story in your family.